Hi, hello there internet. How are you? Happy 2019. So in the year 2018, we got 7 different remakes of Scum. I definitely had every intention of watching them all as they came out. It was a struggle for me. It was a struggle. Before I go into like which one of the 7 was my favorite, I'll talk about like my journey in watching the Scum remakes, what I wanted, what I got, and then eventually we'll get into my favorite eventually, okay? So the first remake that came our way was Skam France. Okay, so I'll start with the positives. I really liked the cast. I liked the cinematography. I liked how it looked, mainly because all of those things I felt were the most different from the original. I think that Daphne from Scum France, that was my favorite of the Vildas. By the way, I really want Alexia to have her own season. And I really liked how Jan was a lot nicer than Jonas. One of my favorite Jonases too. Yeah, so watch that in entirety. I talked about that in a different video, but basically I was unsatisfied because I pretty much felt like the script was a translation, copy and paste of the original. There are some things that they would change, and that change should affect other things, but then they'd keep those other things the same and it didn't work with the other change that they made. And so I didn't like that. The excuse that I got for like why they weren't more creative, didn't actually like adapt the show more than just translate it. They have a contract. It's only in season 3 when they get to change things. And then I watch Druk. I still haven't quite learned how to pronounce that. And I'm like, oh, just in the second episode, there's like more original content than there was in all of Scum France. Did Scum France get a different contract than all of the other remakes? I don't know what happened. Anyway, about my beloved German remake. Oh my god. So I said that Jan was one of my favorite Jonases. German Jonas was my other favorite Jonas. I loved him. When he did something that would upset her, like the whole cabin trip or the lies about are you seeing Leonie or not, he actually wanted to fix the problem rather than blame his girlfriend for being upset and invalidating and dismissing her emotions. So yeah, I liked that from German Jonas. I was really treading the breakup with this one rather than with the original. Like, can these 2 people break up now? Also loved German Jonas's speech at the beginning. I liked most of the opening speeches. I liked how they were, some of them in tune with the original, but it was also his own speech, and it was, I love German Jonas. What can I say? I am conflicted. I seriously am conflicted because I ship Matteo with Jonas. I ship Jonas with Hannah. And then I ship Hannah with Mia. And I'm like, oh, also, like, I love the Girl Squad. I love the Girl Squads in general. And I really loved what they did with Amira. I gotta say, this had my favorite version of Sana. They took a softer approach with her, but she's still able to like call shit out. I also really like that scene where Mia is telling off you know who, and you can just see Amira and Kiki cuddling in the background, and it's so cute. I loved it. I loved it. So from my favorite Sana to my least favorite Sana, Scum Austin. I wanted to give this one a chance. I know that I wasn't in favor of an American Scum when I first heard that there was going to be an American remake, and I made a video on that where I was wearing the same shirt. That's why I wore this shirt in this video. Rambling. I didn't like Zoya because I felt like she was unnecessarily rude. Sana has like this soft side. I felt like she was not mean for no reason, you know, and just her like introducing herself by like snapping at Kelsey and treating the whole, oh, are you okay with dancing, like it was this stupid white girl question, which it wasn't some stupid white girl question. I'm sorry, but I should start by saying something positive about Scum Austin. Well, I loved the opening speech, as I love the opening speeches in most of the remakes and in the original. Okay, so before I watched Scum Austin, I was like, I am ready. I am ready to hear American Jonas roast Donald Trump. It's set in Texas, so chances are American Jonas, his parents are probably like Republicans, and he might not be because younger people tend not to be Republicans. It happens sometimes, but it's less common. So I was ready. I was ready, but I didn't get American Jonas roasting Donald Trump, and I was okay with that because we got Poonam, and she was my favorite character. I wanted to see a lot more of her, to be honest. Her monologue about her daily routine of not having any free time and just overdoing the whole school thing because she bought into that message that you're not supposed to have a life outside of school. You're supposed to give everything to school. You're supposed to be like the best of the best of the best, and to make yourself miserable or else you might like end up homeless or something. And that's addressing a lot of the pressures that the youth of today experience. So I like that we got that. Okay, so Poonam was my favorite character. Also, honorable mention in the favorite characters category, Meg's parents. I loved overhearing their fights. They were so funny. It was an interesting experience having a Scum clip drop, and then I'm able to watch it on the website that it dropped on because I'm not geo-blocked. And I don't have to wait for a transcription or anything like that. That was new for me. What else? I had something else positive to say. Oh, I know. I loved Shay and Tyler. Love them. And I love that we're getting a gay girl, because when I heard about like all these adaptations, one of the things that I wanted and thought wouldn't ever happen, I shouldn't even like hope for something like this. I wanted us to follow a gay girl storyline, and we got it. We got it. Yay. But to be honest, I watched like 3 episodes of Scum Austin, and yeah, by then I had already seen the original. I had already seen all of Scum France. I was watching Druk, which was at this point in time my favorite one. And then we also had Scum Italia coming out. So watched Scum Italia, our problematic fave. I did not have high hopes for this one, by the way. I didn't like the trailer so much, and the cast looked like they were all at least 25. And then I watched some of it and I was like, they adapted it! And I really enjoyed what I saw of Scum Italia season 1. I was glad that they adapted it. I was glad that they showed the families as something more present. I thought that this Eva and Nora, they had like the gayest and cutest meet cute. I didn't stop watching Scum Italia season 1 because I disliked it. It was just at this point in time, seen the original, you've seen all the other versions, and just got tired. I was feeling at this point in time Scum season 1 burnout. So I took a break from watching all of the Scums for the rest of the year. I did go and watch Scum Italia season 2, and gotta say, thank you Scum Italia for giving us the gay season early. Thank you. I wish all of the remakes would do that for us. Please, I would love it. I really liked the voiceovers. I liked the rainbow. I liked how this Esau Martino, he lived with his mom in this version. I watched season 3 of Scum as it was airing, and as it was airing, I was really hopeful that we would get to see Esau's mom in person. I liked what they did with the text messages, but I just wanted them to expand on that more, and I wanted to learn more about his family and see him interact with his mom. And I loved that we got that in Scum Italia. As a consequence of him living with his mom, he doesn't live with the Italian equivalent of Eskil, but that's okay because I like that we got to see them meet for the first time at Gay Street. I really liked what they did with Italian Eskil. I imagine that with all of the remakes that I'll see, I'll like their versions of Eskil, just like I like all of the versions of Chris that I've seen so far. Also, I really like how in the last episode, when Italian Eskil just gives those thumbs up, like, good job, baby gay. So I watched this later. I was aware that there was some drama because somebody who really likes Italian Skam kept leaving these vague posts on Tumblr in defense of Italian Skam and like them being mad at everybody who's calling it racist, but with like no added context of like what was going down in the fandom. I messaged my friend who lives in Italy and I asked them if there were any other Italian shows that had a main character who was gay, and they told me that no, this is groundbreaking in that way. However, in one of the episodes, one of the characters, they say the N-word and it wasn't written in the subtitles, so people like me, I didn't catch it. And then they told me how the director responded to the criticism that happened afterwards. So yeah, there's that. The things that you miss when you just watch a show and you don't pay attention to all the other crap. So after my like 9-month long Skam season 1 break, I decided to watch Dutch Skam. I got through 2.5 episodes, but I'd already seen the same 2.5 episodes in 5 other different languages, and it didn't add much of anything new or interesting. I'm sure that if I had seen that adaptation first, then I would have been more interested in it than I was, but I wasn't. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Skam France, I didn't like that they did translation copy and paste. I wanted to see more changes, and I was glad that with all of the other versions seemed a lot more original. They had more original content. They reimagined or reinterpreted some things and had their own flair. I liked that. But it just wasn't enough for me. It got really boring that I knew when abouts we would get a new clip. I knew who would most likely be in that clip, what information would be revealed in that clip, and how that information would be revealed. I didn't like the idea of seeing the same sequence of events in exactly the same order and brought about in exactly the same way. I would get very happy when I would see small changes, and I would be very interested in wondering like, oh, how's that small change going to affect everything else? The answer to that would be it doesn't. I'd feel very disappointed when that change didn't snowball into something bigger. I wanted a version of Skam that would surprise me. I need to reiterate, at this point I was exhausted. I was like, I know that Skam España is out there. I've heard that the director of Skam España wants to make the whole Norhelm situation less toxic and less gross. Dear Brianna, why do you hate William so much? Don't you know he had a bad childhood? I think that he changed. Didn't you pay attention to that one scene with Sana and she pretty much told you how you're supposed to feel about William? By the way, if you're thinking of asking me that question, I spent like 9 minutes answering that in a different video. I'm sure that in time I'll make more videos about William and my thoughts towards him, but yeah, not a fan. Anyway, while I wasn't watching Skam, I was still following people on Tumblr who did, and I was still seeing gifs all over my dash. I saw a photo set of Lucas coming out to Eva, and I was like, even if they don't change anything else, that's like a huge deal that he comes out to somebody, that he identifies himself as gay. I don't know, maybe that's like the big surprise and big change that I was looking for. I should at the very least give it a chance. And my God, you guys, I am so glad that I gave Skam España a chance, because Skam España became my favorite remake. I loved it. It was like right off the bat, very different. Eva gives the fucking speech. Of all of the different opening monologues that I've heard, was that like the only Eva one? I think it was. Again, very relatable to the kids these days, feeling that you have to live this glamorous Instagram life when you're just 16. I like the detail of Amira being at a party and her call to prayer app goes off, because that happened all the time in season 4 with Sana, and like there's no reason not to put that in throughout the show. We're introduced to a character in episode 1 who I thought at first was their equivalent to Nora, until the actual Nora appeared, and then it turns out that the girl that we thought was Nora was Eben. Oh, and they gave us a New Year's Eve special. Like they gave us a new episode with completely original content. I didn't know what to expect next. That was the best thing about it. Like they took things that happened in episode 3 of the original, dropped that into episode 1. They took this cabin trip that happened in episode, what was it, 2 of the original? They put that cabin trip in episode 5 of Skam España. And by that point in Skam España, Eva already had friends that she liked. She just ditched them in order to hang out with Jorge, because Jorge had promised her a romantic weekend, and that just made it all worse when he ended up playing video games with his friends, because like, dude, she could have been having way more fun with her friends who she ditched to be with you. Yeah, Jorge pissed me off, by the way. To me, part of the problem was that he kept promising one-on-one time with her and then would flake out. She had every right to be pissed off and bored, and then he was very dismissive. He made it seem like it was her fault. Oh, and can we just say, Lucas coming out to Eva, magic. I assume, just looking at that photo set without having seen the show, I thought that when Lucas would come out to Eva, it would be because of the betrayal and him explaining why he betrayed her. But no, they surprised me. Even though I'd been like spoiled in that way, I was completely surprised. It happened at the beginning of episode 8, and there's 11 fucking episodes. And he came out to her voluntarily, and he identified himself as gay, and the original Isak didn't even call himself gay until season 4. Like, we see that he's still struggling, but baby, you came out to somebody, you trusted somebody. I hope that he doesn't isolate himself as much as the original Isak did. I'm hoping that with Skam España, since they had Lucas come out, maybe the Spanish version of Evan, maybe he'll get to, on his own terms, come out about his mental illness. Or even if we do find out through like the Spanish equivalent of Sonia, I hope that somewhere down the line we'll get to hear from Spanish Evan's point of view about like his mental illness, when he was diagnosed, that sort of thing, because I definitely wanted more information in the original and in whatever adaptations. And yeah, you guys, when I was watching the other remakes and I was like, I wish that they changed things more, I wish that I saw more differences, I wish that they would expand more on things that are hinted at in the original. Skam España just, it gave me what I wanted. There were more scenes with Inez and explaining why she continued talking to Jorge while she was treating Eva like shit. By the way, speaking of Inez, I love seeing how defensive the girl squad was of Eva.
¿Pero de qué va? O sea, ¿cuál es su rollo?
Déjalo, por favor. Que no, tienes razón.
Como se vuelve a poner así de borde, hablo yo con ella.
Sí, o sea, pero es que se le pasa.
Voy a hablar la próxima vez.
Que no. O sea, que es mejor dejarlo estar.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I do not like William and do not ship Norhelm. I'm not gonna watch any of the season 2s of all of the other remakes because I'm practicing self-care. But Alejandro, not so bad at all. There's like a laundry list of issues that I have with William, and I'm sure that I'll get to explaining why I have that laundry list. In time it will happen. But with my boy, my boy. Okay, we're not there yet. I don't love him. I don't ship him with Nora just yet, but I don't dislike him yet. I hope that I won't dislike him ever. it's a tall order. It's a tall order because I know who he's based off of, and even if he didn't do some things that pissed me off about the original William, there's like still plenty of opportunity for him to piss me off in the future given how season 2 of the original goes. So like I'm trying not to get my hopes too high, but yeah, he's just less of a dick. Felt like original William, he had this like really cocky and arrogant demeanor, and this one doesn't have that, which I like. He wasn't mean or condescending. He did give the girls herpes, but I can forgive that. That was an accident, you know? It's not the same as him giving out like souvenir hoodies to the girls he fucked. That's just gross. But I can forgive the cold sore. I can forgive that. And as far as I know, he apologized to Viri, hopefully voluntarily, with good intentions. But what is something that I didn't like?
Vete pensando otra excusa para el siguiente finde. Y otra para el siguiente también. Porque no voy a parar hasta que me digas que sí.
Listen, no means no. No does not mean convince me. No does not mean try harder. No does not mean try to find a different way to get what you want. If somebody rejects you, it might not be the answer that you want, but you do not say, oh, well, I'm gonna keep on asking until I wear you down and you decide to go out with me. This applies to more than just sex, because I feel like people excuse this sort of behavior when it's like just him asking her out on a date. They'd say, oh yes, no means no in the context of like a sexual relationship, of course, but if it's just a date, he's being persistent, it's romantic, it's not romantic, it's not cool, it's disrespectful. I don't like it. Oh, right, and I forgot to mention, so throughout all of this, it just completely escaped my notice that there was even a Skam Belgian adaptation. I had no idea, okay? I haven't watched it, and I really don't have any desire to, because the season 1 Burnout is real. I can not, unless it's as good, at least as good as Druck, if not as good as Skam España. Oh, and also when I was watching Dutch Scum, I thought to myself, you know, maybe it's not so fair to me that I don't want to watch this just because it came later, and you know, if it had come earlier, I'm sure maybe I would have been into it. So I thought to myself, when the season 3s roll around, be selective in the ones that you choose. You don't want to get burned out on the ones that you know that you're not going to like for example Scum France, which I wasn't even impressed with Lucas as an actor in season 1, but then Scum France premiered and it's all over that. I'm waiting for the next clip, even though they haven't substantially changed anything yet. They're promising to. They're saying it's going to be at least 50% different, and I'm not seeing that. Not seeing that yet. It could be possible, I'm not sure, but it could be the case that since I have finally found what I'm looking for with Skam España, I'm able to appreciate the other remakes more, maybe. Or maybe I'm just watching the season 3s because I like season 3s. I haven't seen it in a bunch of different languages yet. So anyway, that's all folks. Bye. Hello there, I'm trying something new by filming an end screen. We'll see how this works. So firstly, I'd like to thank everybody out there who translated all the different adaptations. You guys are the real MVPs. I wish that I could return the favor, but unfortunately I can't. And thank you guys out there for watching this whole video. It's almost 25 minutes long, wow. Yeah, if you got to the end, thank you. Please leave a comment telling me what you thought of the video. I'm very interested in knowing what you thought of my thoughts. What did you personally want out of the different adaptations? Were you satisfied or unsatisfied with any of the adaptations, and why? And I'm also very curious, did any of you guys find my PowerPoint, and if so, did you like pause and read it? Because that thing took me so much longer than I thought it would.